Ah, magnificent lavender. Every garden needs this beauty. Look, I'm Sam from Seniors Gardening Advice, and I've been gardening for decades. Let me share something with you. Perennials changed everything for me. These are plants that come back year after year, and they're absolute lifesavers for anyone who wants a beautiful garden without replanting every single season. 6 incredible perennials are going into my beds this year, and I guarantee at least one of them will transform your garden too. Trust me on this. Stick around, because what I'm about to show you works in any season, and I want you to try these yourself. And listen, if you're enjoying this already, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button right now. We've got new gardening wisdom coming your way every single week here at Seniors Gardening Advice. Give this video a like if you love perennials as much as I do, and drop a comment telling me which plant you're most excited to try. Your fellow gardeners will love hearing from you, and so will I.
Number 1, hardy geranium. Let's kick things off with something truly special, the hardy geranium. This magnificent plant has been my absolute favorite for years and years. I genuinely wouldn't have a garden without it. These beauties range from low ground huggers to varieties that reach about 45 centimeters tall, roughly 18 inches if you prefer those measurements. The variety I'm holding here is called Wargrave Pink, though you might find it spelled differently at your local nursery. Throughout the entire growing season, this plant gets absolutely covered in bright, cheerful pink flowers. We're talking smothered, friends. You can barely see the foliage underneath all those blooms. The leaves themselves are quite attractive, too. Some varieties have aromatic foliage, and this one has a subtle scent if you rub the leaves gently. Hardy geraniums are fantastic ground cover plants. They spread in lovely clumps, filling in spaces beautifully. Got a tricky spot where nothing else seems to grow? Pop in a hardy geranium. These plants are incredibly forgiving. They handle soil that tends to dry out reasonably well, though I always recommend watering thoroughly right after planting and keeping them moist until they're properly established. That first season of care really pays off. These gems thrive in full sunshine or dappled shade. They're not fussy about which. That versatility makes them incredibly useful for filling gaps throughout your garden. I'm planting this one under some established shrubs where it'll create a wonderful carpet in partial shade. The downy textured foliage and finger-shaped leaves look beautiful even before the flowers appear. There are dozens of different hardy geranium varieties available, and honestly, I haven't met one that isn't worthwhile. My advice? Plant it in groups of 3, 4, or even 5 plants together. This creates a substantial mat of coverage rather than isolated dots of color. When summer arrives, you'll have this incredible display of flowers spreading across the ground. Absolutely marvelous.
Number 2, ferns for shaded areas. Coming in at number 2, I want to talk about ferns. Now, don't dismiss these just because they don't produce colorful flowers. Ferns are extraordinarily useful for covering ground in quite dense shade, where very few other plants will survive. Do you have a spot in your garden where practically nothing grows? Maybe it's underneath a mature tree where the roots have created a difficult environment and only ivy seems to survive. That's exactly where ferns shine. These ancient plants are perfectly adapted for challenging, shady conditions. Some fern varieties are evergreen, meaning their fronds, that's what we call fern leaves, stay attached throughout the winter months, providing year-round interest. Other types die back when cold weather arrives. In spring, you simply cut away the old dead fronds, and then you get to witness one of nature's most delightful shows. The new growth emerges as these tight little coils called croziers. They look exactly like tiny shepherd's crooks unfurling. The entire plant gets refreshed each spring with completely new foliage. Here's something really helpful. Certain ferns are specifically good for dry shade, which is honestly one of the most challenging environments in any garden. How do you identify which ferns tolerate dry conditions? Well, botanists made this easy for us. There's a whole genus called Dryopteris. See that? Dryopterus. The name practically tells you what it needs. Just remember that name when you're at the garden center. Dryopterus equals good for dry shade. I'm placing this fern under some established trees in my garden where it'll be perfectly content. Ferns bring a completely different texture to your planting schemes. That soft, feathery foliage contrasts beautifully with broader-leaved plants. They create a woodland atmosphere, even in the smallest garden.
Number 3, lavender for every season. Every single garden deserves lavender. Absolutely every one. This is number 3 on my list, and it's genuinely essential. The foliage is nearly evergreen, staying attractive through most of the year. Just smell that. Like eucalyptus and menthol combined. Wonderful for clearing your sinuses, too. The flowers appear in summer. They can be lavender-colored, pale pink, or white, depending on variety, but I'm traditional. Give me the classic lavender-purple flowers every time. They're absolutely gorgeous, and bees go absolutely mad for them. If you want pollinators in your garden, lavender is your friend. This makes an excellent addition to vegetable gardens because those pollinating insects you attract will help with your crops. But lavender works beautifully anywhere in the garden where you have a really sunny position. It creates lovely low hedging or borders, typically growing about 30 to 45 centimeters high. That's roughly 12 to 18 inches. There are some taller varieties available, like Hidcoat Giant, but I avoid those personally. The flower stems tend to flop over and they look messy. Stick with varieties like Hidcoat or Munstead, and you'll get compact, upright plants with stems that stand proud. The flowers are perfect for making lavender bags to tuck among your clothes. That wonderful scent keeps everything fresh and helps repel moths. My grandmother always had lavender bags, and the tradition continues in my home. Lavender absolutely requires well-drained soil. This is crucial. Wet, heavy soil will kill it. But give it bright sunshine and good drainage, and lavender will reward you for years. I'm putting this one in my vegetable patch so that every time I walk through those raised beds, I can brush past it and enjoy that incredible aroma. Ah, magnificent lavender. Every garden needs this beauty. Number 4 is Pulmonaria, the lungwort. 4th on my list is Pulmonaria, commonly called lungwort. Now that's an unusual name with an interesting history. Back in medieval times, people believed plants revealed their medicinal uses through their appearance. This plant's leaves supposedly resembled lungs. I've never examined my lungs closely enough to confirm this, so they named it lungwort and declared it excellent for treating lung ailments. Please don't try this at home. We have modern medicine for that. But putting medieval medicine aside, this is an absolutely beautiful early spring plant. The appeal isn't just the flowers, though those are lovely. The leaves expand after flowering, and they're covered in distinctive white spots, creating striking foliage that remains attractive all season long. The variety I'm holding is called Twinkle Toe. What a charming name! This variety produces flowers in both blue and pink, sometimes on the same plant. The flowering happens very early in spring, providing color when little else is blooming. After the flower show finishes, those spotted leaves take center stage and remain interesting throughout summer. Just like the previous plants I've mentioned, bees absolutely love Pulmonaria. Early spring nectar sources are incredibly important for pollinators emerging from winter. This plant prefers fairly moist soil and dappled or even heavy shade. In full blazing sunshine, it tends to wilt and look unhappy. Give it some shade, and you'll enjoy several weeks of those gorgeous flowers, followed by months of decorative spotted foliage. I'm planting this one in a shaded section of my garden where it'll thrive.
Number 5 is Scabious, specifically the variety Pink Mist. Scabious is a delightful flower that blooms from late spring right through summer. Some varieties start early and keep going for months. Look at all these buds waiting to open. The common name is pincushion flower, and once you look at the center of the bloom, you'll understand exactly why. See those little stamens poking up? Just like pins in a pincushion.
The foliage is a healthy green color and stays attractive throughout the season. This is definitely a plant for sunny positions and really well-drained soil. Here's an important principle I've learned over decades of gardening. Whenever you're selecting a plant, find out what conditions it prefers. Provide those conditions, and the plant will practically grow itself because it has everything it needs to thrive. You're working with nature rather than fighting against it. So for Scabious, sunshine, excellent drainage, and you'll enjoy these beautiful pink flowers throughout the summer months. I'm putting this one in my kitchen garden among the vegetables because it'll attract bees and other pollinators, which helps with pollinating crops like peas and beans. It's genuinely multi-purpose. Looks great at the front of ornamental borders and serves a practical function in the vegetable garden.
Number 6. Nepeta, the catmint. For my 6th selection, I'm adding Nepeta, commonly known as catmint. This versatile perennial works brilliantly across multiple seasons and deserves a place in every garden. The soft gray-green foliage looks attractive from spring through autumn, and the flower spikes appear in early summer, continuing until the first frosts arrive. Nepeta grows in neat mounds, typically reaching about 30 to 60 centimeters tall, depending on the variety you choose. The flowers are usually lavender blue, though some varieties offer white or pink blooms. They appear in repeated flushes throughout the growing season, especially if you trim off the spent flowers. This plant handles both full sun and partial shade, making it incredibly adaptable. It tolerates drought once established, so it's perfect for those spots that dry out quickly. The aromatic foliage smells wonderful when you brush against it. Cats sometimes roll in it, hence the common name, though it's not as potent as true catnip. Pollinators adore Nepeta. Bees, butterflies, and hoverflies all visit the flowers constantly. If you're trying to create a wildlife-friendly garden, this plant absolutely earns its space. The soft texture of the foliage contrasts beautifully with boulder-leaved plants, and it looks particularly lovely spilling over path edges or the front of borders. I'm tucking this one into a sunny border where it'll soften the edges and provide months of gentle color. After the first major flush of flowers fades, trim the whole plant back by about 1/3, and it'll produce fresh new growth and another round of blooms. Absolutely foolproof and reliable.
Wrapping up. There you have it. 6 fantastic perennials that'll work in virtually any garden and are available at any decent garden center. These plants are going to look absolutely smashing in my plot, and I know they'll do the same for yours. Remember, perennials are an investment that pays dividends year after year. Plant them properly, give them what they need, and they'll reward you with minimal effort required. That's smart gardening. I'll be posting new videos every single week here at Seniors Gardening Advice, so make sure you've subscribed to the channel. Hit that bell icon so you don't miss any episodes. Let's keep gardening together, sharing knowledge, and growing beautiful gardens. Drop a comment below and tell me which of these 6 you're going to try first. I read every single comment and love hearing from you. Share this video with your gardening friends. They'll thank you for it. Until next time, keep those hands in the soil and enjoy your garden.